Kacanga landing site is one of Masaka District's leading fish landing sites on Lake Victoria, with a population of over 2,000 people.
We have a population of over 2,000 people in this place, and it is being served with a toilet, with one toilet of 5 stands, and it's an eco-sand toilet, which is not all that very effective. Formerly we had 2 toilets, but both of them got filled, and this one has been renovated. The second one has not been yet renovated, so it is still a big challenge.
With the failure of attempts by the local government to put in place adequate pit latrine facilities at the landing site, men resorted to the bush and the lake, where they also draw water for domestic consumption.
We
don't have adequate toilet facilities, which forces some residents to defecate everywhere.
Because the one toilet cannot serve the 2,000 people around here, most of the people go in the nearby bush, and in the long run they end up transmitting these communicable diseases, especially diarrhea and typhoid is a big problem in this area, and that's why we find most people are suffering either from typhoid or diarrhea, which are very common diseases around this place.
A baseline survey conducted by Macquarie University's Department of Biological Sciences with support from Adelphi and World Fish Center, as it launched the Strengthening Aquatic Resource Governance STARGO Project in October 2012, revealed that more than 80% of the residents here suffered from diseases associated with poor hygiene.
The survey was carried out. They were collecting stool samples from 215 people, and out of the 215 people, 43 were found to be normal, and 172 were already affected with pathogens, which caused 8 were suffering from had salmonella, which causes typhoid, and the rest had other bacteria which cause either dysentery and diarrhea.
There are minimum standards which the government have to fulfill in order to export fish, and these requirements are laid down under the fish quality assurance, and among them we have to improve the sanitation of the area. And the sanitation, if proper sanitation is not met, our fish will not be allowed to the outside market.
The poor sanitation at this landing site is one reason why fish from here is not admitted to the European Union markets.
On the other hand, even here we don't want to eat dirty fish. So, if these landing sites continue to have poor sanitation, our fish will not be exported, and even here it will not be fit for human consumption.
The project STARGO is funded by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, aims building resilient livelihoods among poor rural producers who depend on the highly contested natural resources in the freshwater ecoregions, with the intent of improving nutrition, income, welfare and human security, while also reducing the likelihood of broader social conflict.
It will bring about transformation in the lives of the people of Kacanga landing site. First, there will be improved sanitation facilities at the site, because as we talk now, there have been scanty facilities at the learning site. So the coming in of this project from STARGO will enable increased toilet facilities, because now these facilities are going to have 18 instances at a go. That means that 18 people at a go will be able to utilize that facility. It means sanitation will never be the same at Kacanga. There will be improved sanitation, improved cleanliness, and again the welfare of our people will improve, and again the health of our people, because many of the diseases that have been cropping out of Kacanga have been due to poor sanitation. So because of the improved sanitation, definitely there will be improved health for our people and improved livelihood for the entire community in Kacanga.
After a series of meetings with policymakers, local government officials and donor organizations and community-based organizations, Kacanga Learning Site was identified for the project implementation.
Went to the community in Nabugabo, and there we met Agnes, we met Moses and the district fisheries officers, and we talked for a long time about what were the problems that you were facing in your communities. And I remember at the time, many people wondered, but why are we sitting here talking about all these problems? You are not going to help us solve any of these problems.
Because for us, that's the development study, rather the development research we are doing. Why are people going to the bush? And once they go there, what are the implications?
Community participation was key in the success of this project. The project implementers therefore had to gather a variety of community views as to the specific project they wanted. Through these community consultations, a sanitation facility for Kacanga Learning Site was reached at.
Ndowooza nti ekitundu kyaffe kino kirina obuzibu buyonjo katoyi tuyina kamu.
Poor sanitation is the biggest challenge here. The only sanitation facility we have is an eco-san toilet, which also has its own challenges in usage, given the migratory culture common among fishing communities, and it is also not convenient for the Muslims who have to use water every time they visit a toilet.
Teetaaga mazzi ate nga bo balina okugakozesa.
Era ne tusituka ne tuva wano nga balina emisomo gye bategese. Mu kiseera ekyo twasooka Nabugabo ne tubaako ebintu bye twasoma nga ebintu ebyo.
We had a series of engagements which involved the training from the STARGO people at Nabugabo and later in Masaka. Given the need to improve sanitation at this learning site, we asked them to construct for us a toilet facility, which seemed rather difficult to achieve, but after some time we received communication that our proposal had been approved.
Ekyaddirira nga wayise ekiseera twafuna amawulire okuva e Kampala nga twogera ne Dr. Sam, nga Dr. Sam atugamba nti Kacanga bagenda kubazimbira toilet eya biogas. Mu kiseera ekyo era twasooka ne tulowooza nti amawulire ebintu tibyali byangu nnyo nga bwe tulowooza.
As you realize they have been littering around, and this littering, many people, if you look around here, there are so many people having problems of cholera and other diseases related to what? To poor sanitation. And this toilet is going to improve on that one, that there are not going to be more human littering around. And then that one, if it is not there, so we anticipate that we are going to have reduced disease outbreaks around here. And that one is going to, to improve on the economic status, because most of the money which has been diverted to address the medical whatever problems will be saved, and that one can be invested somewhere else.
The community was required to make a contribution towards the construction of this facility, as this would ensure community ownership of the facility.
That one is also going to create a sense of ownership, and I think by the end of this project will be protected vigorously, such that they don't, because of that sense of ownership, it will be kept and it will be sustained.
We've come to like and love STARGO because of the participative way it is doing its all it is executing its projects in Masaka. When it comes in, of course it brings in some input, and of course it expects the community and the leadership to bring in some input, whereby it becomes an all project. It embraces everybody in the community and in the district. So it's an all participative kind of project.
Gentlemen, you have a bathroom and a urinal.
STARGO funded the project with over 75 million shillings.
All
the bushes around this landing site are littered with feces, and some others is themselves in polythene bags that are dumped everywhere in the settlement area.
You see, when we lack or we have inadequate sanitation facilities, definitely there are bound to be a conflict within the community while fighting for the utilization of such a facility, because it is not enough, and many people are interested in use as for such facility. Because of that, we are bound to have a conflict. And again, there is a conflict between the community of Kacanga and the district, because and the district and the sub-county, because people may feel that the district or the government is not paying due attention to the sanitation problems in Kacanga.
SEM Africa was contracted to undertake works on the sanitation and biogas facility at Kacanga, and its construction commenced in November 2012 after a groundbreaking ceremony performed by the Masaka District Chairperson Joseph Kalungi.
Okutegeeza nti wano tugenda okuzimba toilet ey'omulembe wano e Kacanga ng'evaamu ne bayogasi nga egenda okutuyambibwako aba STARGO ate aba contractor aba SEM Africa era mu ngeri yemu bakwasa ekifo kino tuzimbira toilet ey'omulembe.
Ekibiina kya STARGO kyasobola okujja mu kitundu kyaffe. Nga Masaka tulina emyalo mingi nnyo, naye nga ffe ab'Kacanga ffe twasinga okutwala omukisa guno ne batusuubiza otukolera toilets.
We are lucky that among all landing sites in Masaka, this project came to ours. It has taken some time, but it is good noting that the project is finally here.
Wegattibwamu Fisheries Mwami Ssemambo, Chairman BMU, ne Vice Chairman Mukyala Agnes. Era ensonga ze mwatutuma twazituusa, era ku nsonga ezo zetwayogerako eri abakulu aba STARGO, yemu y'ensonga eno gye bagiddeko olwaleero.
Project eno kye tugisanyukiddeko egenda kuleeta obuyonjo mu kitundu kyaffe.
We are looking forward to improved sanitation at our landing site.
Kuwalanga bulwadde nga diarrhea, Ebola, ne obulwadde bw'embuto.
The biolatry, we need to have biogas out of it.
A latrine with a biogas facility sounded funny and unbelievable to many residents of the landing site. They were anxious and watched every day as the facility took shape. A landing site site free from littered faces and with clean environs is what the project brought in picture for the residents, but also a facility that would enable them to at least boil their water before drinking.
Since we are going to get biogas from this facility, there is definitely no reason why we should go back to the bushes.
So we keep some more moisture so that as people use the facility, there is some water before flushing.
And also to keep the stools not to dry, because if they dry they can get stuck.
Yeah, can get stuck on the walls.
This inspection chamber, the water sweeps all the waste into the biogas system. The system is designed in such a way that the water to the waste ratio is 1:1. Then anaerobic digestion takes place in the digester. Methane is generated, which is piped to the kitchen for cooking. Then after that anaerobic treatment, the effluent is pressurized out of the system by gravity, and it is safe. It can be used as manure to improve agricultural production.
By February 2013, the facility was ready to be handed over to the community, and the community was indeed excited about the facility.
It took 2 years to get to where we are now, and we have a concrete result, which is here, which is the facility. And I wanted to remind you that we are not the ones who decided to build sanitation facilities. You decided that you wanted to build sanitation facilities. I don't know whether it's the usual thing when a project comes for them to ask you what you want. But I remember that a lot of people thought that we were just lying and we would never come back again after asking all our questions. So if there's a sanitation facility here, it is because you decided that you wanted to have a sanitation facility. And so we went back to Germany, and you continued to work, and you worked together, and now you have a sanitation facility. So Adelphi did not build a sanitation facility. This is the Kacanga Community Sanitation Facility, and the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development was very happy to support you to do what you wanted to do. I hope that as we hand it over to you, the community in Kacanga, that you will use it to improve your lives. As you said, you wanted a modern, developed community with a modern sanitation facility, and you want further development.
As Mackay University, where I come from, we do this one as an outreach activity, basically to make sure our communities who are vulnerable, they are helped. And when these people came and said, you know, probably this might be so expensive, I was touched, and I discussed with a few others. They say, you know, I'm touched. But eventually they accepted. They say, okay, let's see how this facility, now we can see it.
As the facility was handed over to the community, local leaders were also upbeat about it. We are proud to have a facility like this at our landing site, because from it we are going to get biogas and fertilizers, and that means reduced expenditure on fuel for cooking, while some of us are going to venture into farming.
Agasente tonotono ate mu ngeri y'emu suubira nti abantu abamu bagenda kutandika okwenyigira mu by'obulimi okubeera nti toyireti yaffe ejja kuvangako n'ekijigusa.
People have been demanding for a better sanitation facility, which has been lacking in Kacanga. Kacanga, as you will know, is a large settled community with about 1,000 people. and actually they have been lacking an adequate toilet facility. So when STARGO comes in, and our friends from Germany, they have put up a wonderful large toilet which is comprised of about 15 stances. This is a tremendous improvement, and I do believe that from now onwards, sanitation is going to be solved in kacanga learning site.
As the sub-county leadership, we are going to issue a bylaw that will incriminate anyone who goes to the bush again. Once you are caught, you will be fined at least 20,000 shillings.
Nti mujiyingiremu ngenda kutandika okusimba obupande mu ttale nja kuyambibwako chairman wange wero si wano tusimba obupande mu ttale nti addamu okusinganibwa mu ttale ogwo musango munene nnyo ate tugenda kumukuba ne fine mitwalo ebiri.
The community will pay a small management fee for the facility and also for the usage of the biogas that is generated from it.
You are going to be sensitized on how you'll be using the biogas facility.
Besides, the facility will also be used for further studies by Makerere University students.
Once we have a facility like this one, then we shall be sending some of our students from universities to come and study with you. And I've already requested Moses, if you think you need some research about using like fish caging, then let us know. We shall send you students, because we are told the lake almost is being depleted of resources, and the government is ever telling you do other things, don't depend on the lake. Now if you have like a cat, so we shall continue working with you. In other words, even though this is going to be over in a few weeks and you start using it, but we want to do more action or development research with you. And already there is another research company or university in the UK that is interested to know whether if we get the manure from this, can it be used? Of course, the Uganda and the Bachiga and the Banyanko will say, I will never use that one as what? As manure. But for us, we think you can use that, and maybe you start growing vegetables on a very small piece of land, and then you sell.
But we hope that when we come back, we will see that you have continued to work together and to grow as a community, and that you are using your facility and that it is helping you for your health. So I wanted to thank you all very much. I wanted to thank the district for paying us a lot of attention. We are sure that we leave it in good hands when we leave it with all of you.